So happy to be joined by Joel Elmsley, the lead artist on Titanfall. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm just going to ask you the Passover question. What makes this giant mech design different from all other giant mech designs?
I think humanity. Humanity, and I think when we were looking at designing these giant titans, there's a lot of designs out there for these things. I mean, to a point of you can find thousands of them at a push of a button on the internet. And so, with that being said, we did heavy work with concept art. I tried my hand at model making. It's like a hobby of mine. I brought it in the office, started doing scratch building. We tried to take that avenue, but I think what really makes our Titans different is the animation, the movement, the motion model, their personality. And I think what I really love about Titanfall that I get excited about is when you step out of your Titan and let it be an auto Titan. And what you see there is a whole range of animations that you normally see in single player. So it's like this giant 20-foot tall buddy that you can use tactically. You know, you can sit your 20-foot tall buddy on Alpha and have him guard it, and let him do his thing, and then rejoin him from across the map.
I want to go back to one thing you said when you mentioned humanity, and there is just the entire sort of visual look and the design of the game. There's a sense of it being grounded. And Vince spoke to this in my interview with him. Obviously, it's hard to use the word realistic when you're talking about something like a Titan, but that's the only word that I can say. I mean, in the time that you spent designing them, like, where did you see that line where it would slip from sort of reality to complete sci-fi, fantastical design and behavior?
Yeah, I think the Respawn Art Department has a really firm footing in understanding, at least to a degree, military hardware and how it works. Even our weapons in the game, I feel like they're so well designed by one of our senior artists that you could go out and smith those weapons today. You know, it's all there. All the actions work, and it's all there. So we bring that knowledge, I think, into the design of the Titans, and it gives us this not super realistic, but maybe a hyper real look and feel to the Titans. They're worn, they're used. One of the rules that we kind of put on ourselves when we're designing these things, not even the Titans, but the world itself of Titanfall, is that everything in the real world always looks as though it could be serviced by a crew, like a repair crew. So if you look at our Titan designs, there's access panels, there's these serial marking panels and stuff, and no steps and registration marks. All those things help make it feel realer. Mm-hmm. But they also give it scale. So when you see someone standing next to something like that, there's all these warnings and stuff you would normally see on like a Hind or an aircraft carrier or a jet or a tank or whatever. So we'll bring all those details together, and it's not just one thing. It's an amalgamation of all those different details and ideas put together.
In terms of the movement, which, the role of that isn't just for the visual design, because that's so integral to the gameplay and how the player is going to experience it. But they move swiftly. They don't move too heavy. I mean, I think a big problem that people could speak to in past mech games is they go so far on the sim side. It's like, I imagine they would move really slowly, but that's not fun. I'm curious about sort of the process of iterating to get to that sweet spot in terms of the mobility and the agility of the Titans.
That was a long, frustrating process, because I mean, Titanfall it's the Titans and it's the pilots. They're two different motion models, and making sure that those motion models complement each other is the key to making Titanfall actually work and have it be fun. So. One of the things I liked about the Titans is, as far as the movement goes, is the ability to finally be in a Titan that feels like more of an extension of your body. But with that being said, I mean, when I play a shooter and I'm a character on screen, I really like the ability to be able to duck behind cover, be able to what they call slicing the pie when you come around a corner as a character and you're trying to get that drop on someone with a gun. And even taking shots through different buildings, like trying to angle your Titan in such a way, duck or do this, so that I can get that perfect shot through 3 windows and then downrange and hit someone from where they can't even see me, and I have like ultimate cover. So it's a mixture of all those things and trying to get that motion model to really gel with the pilots as well. But it comes down to not getting too simmy with them.
Yeah, and then you could make it so that, I guess if it's too human, then it's like, okay, then why am I in a mech in the first? You have to have that sense of weight, that sense of sort of that this is powerful, but there is a weakness. I'm curious, I guess, on the other end of the spectrum, how you had to sort of limit the Titan and what it could do.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the solutions we came up with was it's like two different play styles. So when you're in the Titan, they're very grounded, so they still operate like a tank that can dodge. So the Titans live on the surface, like the deck in the environment, and the pilots live on a whole other three-dimensional level that messes with that gameplay style. So essentially, we're building the levels, and there's two levels in one from that respect.
And obviously, in the levels that I've seen, if there were once buildings here, they were clearly in disarray ever since the problems started in this world. I mean, is it? I guess how do you sort of how do you design sort of a destroyed town? I mean, do you actually build the town first and then try to take it apart? I'm curious, sort of like in terms of really.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, I think what you do when you're a model maker is you go in and you build it the way it should look first, nice and clean. And then you go in with a wrecking ball, and then, if it were plastic, I'd be going in there with a soldering iron and melting holes in it and stuff. But we do that geometrically in the modeling packages, and then you go for a wear and tear pass. And then there's also something you have to really consider also is the fiction behind each level in Titanfall is what happened here. So all that set dressing that goes into the environment, the architecture. At the same time, all those, even the destroyed environments, Titanfall, they have to make sense for the pilot to be doing all the wall running and double jumping. So that's very well measured and balanced rooftop to rooftop. We work really hard to make sure the surfaces of the building artistically they're done in a way where even though it may be destroyed and just completely wrecked, you can look at it as a player and go, all right, I can wall run up here, I can scoop around, I can ambush a Titan when he comes down this corridor. You want them to start really looking at the environment and reading it from a tactical value.
I think my final question, I'm expecting success for this game. It's just a gut feeling I have.
I hope so.
So if this creates a rash of more sort of Titan-ish, mech-like robot games, I mean, what's kind of the core element that you advise to people that are going to be doing like fan drawings and all that stuff that really is at the essence of some big, massive metal exoskeleton?
That's a tough question, actually. That's like if I were to tell somebody how to do that stuff, I'd probably want to hire them.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point. Well, with that and that perfect pivot on it, I thank you so much for your time, Joel.